Hey, Matthew here. Behringer has long been a name in the world of music associated with cheap, crappy products of low quality and low performance. So far, we have looked at two products on this channel and seeing that this isn't always the case. Today, I'm going to be looking at what category the Behringer U-Phoria UM2 falls under. Is it worth your money? Let's take a closer look. The UM2 was released in December of 2013. It has two inputs and two outputs consisting of one XLR 1/4 inch TRS combo plug and a 1/4 inch TRS instrument input. For the outputs, it has a 1/4 inch headphone jack and left and right RCA outputs for monitoring. It supports recording at 32, 44.1 and 48 kHz at 16-bit and is plug and play, so it doesn't require any drivers to work. It has one switch on the front of the interface for 0 millisecond latency direct monitoring, and there are three knobs on the top for setting gain, output, and a switch on the back for 48 volts phantom power. I really wish they'd put the phantom power switch on the front of the interface, and for the life of me I can't figure out why they wouldn't. There is obviously room for it, but maybe there is some reason that I'm too dumb to figure out. Next to each input on the interface, there is a handy signal and clip indicators, which let you know when the interface is detecting a signal and if that signal is clipping. It also has two other indicators to the right of the headphone output to let you know when the interface is receiving power and when phantom power is turned on. So how does the interface feel to use? Well, the entire body is made of plastic and is quite light, weighing in at just 300 grams or 0.6 pounds. So it does end up feeling quite cheap, but when it comes to structural rigidity, it doesn't feel too bad. Even though the entire thing is made of plastic, it still feels quite sturdy. All the knobs and switches feel very satisfying to use in my opinion, if a little wobbly, but it doesn't feel like it would break easily. But at just £30, there have got to be some major downsides to this interface, right? Well, the preamps aren't the quietest in the world, and the interface doesn't do a very good job at blocking out RF interference and ruins some of my recordings. You can only record a maximum of 16-bit at 48 kHz, and playback is limited to the same bitrate and bit depth. By the end of the day, does someone interested in this interface need all the extras? After all, this is the cheapest interface on most of the music sites I checked. Well, 16-bit 44.1 kHz is CT quality, so most people recording podcasts or music in their bedroom really don't need to worry too much about this limitation. The headphone output, even if it doesn't suit your 384 kHz FLAC needs, is perfectly usable for monitoring your recordings and even listening to some music. I have been testing the headphone output on this interface for a couple of days, and while it in no way compares to the Dragonfly Red that I use every day, it really isn't too bad and is usable. The indication lighting for signal, clipping, phantom power and power are very much appreciated and have proven to be useful to me. So, in conclusion, despite the bad name Behringer still has, they are doing a damn good job at making some decent and cheap products. Unfortunately, this interface falls short in one too many areas for me. With bad RF interference, noisy preamps, and the annoying placement of the phantom power switch, and the overall lack of heft, I just end up feeling a little bit let down by this interface. Unless you are very limited in budget and need something straight away, I would recommend buying something a little bit more premium to avoid having to upgrade so soon down the line. It's also worth noting that this interface actually appears on our cheapest setup, but if you want more information on that, check the video in the top right. As the saying goes, buy cheap, buy twice. I know there are some people out there that would be more than happy with something like this, whether they just need an inexpensive interface with an XLR input or need the RCA line outputs on the back of the interface. For £30, it's okay, but I would spend a little bit more in future.